Just reacting to the news that Frank Lampard is, we are told, in advanced talks to return to Stamford Bridge as caretaker manager. His cousin Jamie is here. This has come as a bit of a surprise, Jamie.
Yes and no, I guess. I watched the game last night and I saw him in the crowd and he looked like a guy that hadn't just gone there for a few drinks and a bit of a jolly up. He watched it in a very studious way. And I started to think, well, maybe that might be an opportunity that they look at Frank as an option, because there's not many other managers right now. There's a few managers they'll be talking about. There've been, obviously, Nagelsmann's had a mention. He looks like he wants a little bit of time away. This might make sense for the owners just to give himself a bit of breathing space and give Frank an opportunity to get back in the game. He's got unfinished business, obviously, at Chelsea. He loves the club. Nobody cares about that club. Nobody knows it better than what he does. And I think this is a complete no-brainer if Chelsea were to go for him and for Frank to take the job. I think it'd be brilliant for him. The players obviously haven't had that many good results, not got many goals, but you can see that there are real signs at that club. And they've got a Champions League game to come against Real Madrid. Now people say, well, it's almost impossible. Can they do it? Roberto Di Matteo won it as an interim manager. Stranger things have happened in football. And Frank will look at this and go, if he takes the job and everything's right for him, what an opportunity for him and what a good time for the club to just take the pressure out of the situation to a certain extent.
It's an amazing opportunity, isn't it, for Frank? But do you think Chelsea actually do need the leadership right now?
Yeah, I think that's clearly in the owners' thinking at this point in time. Clearly, things not going the way that anybody at Chelsea Football Club wants them to go. I'm surprised, I've got to say, when you look at some of the other names that have been in the frame, for me, it has to come down to possibly who they really want not being available today. I think you look at his track record in terms of working with the younger players. I think that's certainly something that's clearly gone in his favour. We've seen the transfers they've brought in recently, and I think that's obviously coming into the owner's mind there. And I think they're looking at it as a bit of a stopgap, possibly, but it has to be a decision they get right. I think after Graham Potter and everything that's gone on them saying that he's going to be the one, we're going to give him time, and then that not being the case, it's a huge decision.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think also to a certain... Frank will be well aware of that. He's under no illusions. He'll probably... How can you turn this opportunity down? And secondly, if at the end of the season it doesn't work out, I'm sure he'll shake hands and say thank you for that opportunity, and they've got another manager in. He'll
what
know
if it goes well, though? What if he wins games, gets them up the table? What if they progress in the Champions League?
Who knows? Football's crazy. Football is... You only got to look at the managers and what's going on right now at certain clubs. Football is crazy and stranger things can happen. Frank, 6 weeks ago, whenever it was, when he was at Everton, probably thought, am I going to get another opportunity to manage at the top level? Now he's managing again at what, well, looks like he's going to be managing again at one of the biggest clubs in the world. And stranger things have happened. Avram Grant took that club to a Champions League final.
Different Chelsea now, though, isn't it?
But if you have to remember, when Frank was there before, there was a transfer embargo. He never had the opportunity. Now he's going to look at the players that they've bought in, and I know it's not clicking right now, but it won't take long. Chelsea will be right back up there. I think they need a couple of players in the next window, but they are certainly showing signs. If they can get a centre forward, one or two other players, Chelsea will be back. And it's the same for Frank. I mean, he can't turn this down. It's his club. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm sure even at the end of the season it doesn't work out, he'll shake their hands and say thank you for the opportunity. But knowing him like I do, he's an out-and-out winner. Nobody's got more drive, more desire. Nobody's done more to reach the top and had a better work ethic as a player. And I've got no doubt, and I've said this before, he'll do it as a manager as well, because he'll never give in.
Well, let's not forget his most recent experience was not a great one, the way it finished at Everton. He must have fallen off his chair when the call came through, and now he's going to find himself on the touchline at Wolves potentially this coming weekend, and then against Madrid as early as next week.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable turnaround, but I think he will look at that squad. You look at Chelsea performances. I think last night's a prime example with creating opportunities, just haven't been able to take them. So he's obviously going to be thinking now, right, what is that missing piece? Is it throwing Aubameyang back in the mix, someone who is a proven goal scorer? How do I get that forward area to click? Because they have got the quality there. They just haven't been able to find certainly that bit of end product that could really make the difference between now and the end of the season.
I'm just disappointed because I was talking to Frank last week. We've got 2 kids, 2 babies. We want Project Mbappe. And now we'll go to the park every week. We're going to say, look, Frank, let's go on a little bit of work with the kids and see what we can achieve. And right now he's gone back at the football management. He's left me.
You're on your own. It's absolutely